Life's a play with no rehearsal. Come for your role. Cause the devil is a liar. I'm telling you the truth, hey. It's all in what you do, hey. Some things you gotta do, hey, 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 hey. Hey, barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget, we go live tonight with voted the most beautiful woman in the world, V. Bozeman. Don't forget, and feel free to join the Patreon, man. Feel free to join the Patreon, man. Man, I made $20,000 protesting last week on one stock. And if you join my Patreon, you'll know which stock it is because it's not done growing yet. But anyways, man, let's jump into this shit really quick, man. Timothy Bradley tells a story on ESPN about him and his son and the car and him being pulled over because he's black because his son asked. And that story has great merit. You know, I have yet to be pulled over with my son. I've been pulled over numerous times at gunpoint in a Bentley. You know what I mean? I've shared that story with you right off of Angeles Vista. You know what I mean? And Angeles Vista, for those of you who don't know, Angeles Vista is like Rodale Drive in Beverly Hills in terms of like black wealth, like through Baldwin Hills. People take Angeles Vista, people take Rodale Drive or something like that, or Beverly Drive or something like that. That would be equivalent to that street. And I get pulled over. But moreover, man, I want to talk about how it's trendy to be black now. It's real trendy to be black now. Now, I'm not going to take anything away from Timothy Bradley's story, and I applaud him for sharing the story. But we were black before George Floyd. And by the way, Timothy Bradley, you're more than welcome to come on my, I'll share the story at the end of this. I should have said at the beginning, but you're more than welcome to come on my podcast and we can have this discussion. I don't want to call people, I am not God, so I cannot say I'm more black than the next person. This person is more black than me. This person roots for more black people than me. But I'm just going to say this, man. It's real trendy to be black now. You know what I mean? It's real cool. And the people who have a change of heart will be celebrated. And the people who've been black from day one, like me, oh, man. Remember, I've been ostracized. I'm too black. Oh, man, how can you be black and you married an Asian woman? How can you be black and you got mixed kids? How can you be black? How can you be black? But yet and still, every time I go to a fight, I make it my point to give the guy who's 0-0 or 3-0, his manager. I make it a point to do my best to interview them. I don't give a fuck if you're famous, making millions of dollars like Deontay Wilder, Earl Spence. I talk to the people and try and interview everybody black. You understand what I'm saying? Not to say that I don't interview others. I'm just saying I make it a point to do that. You understand what I'm saying? And I think it's just very, very important that we see the big picture. Now, I'm not going to tear down an ally right now. I'm not. I also want to see consistent behavior. I also want to see Timothy Bradley and Andre Ward. I spoke about Andre Ward earlier today. I want them to be consistent, you know, and I'll make it sense. And I'll tell you exactly what I told Timothy Bradley. And I believe he'll watch this video because he approached me, and I'm just going to call a spade and say exactly what was said in that as best as I can remember. Okay. Timothy Bradley sees me before I see him. Said, "What's up, Fred? Barbershop, man. I'm paying attention. I watch you." And I honestly respect him for coming up to me and making his presence known. And he has every right to disagree with everything that I say. I stand on my square. I don't change my tune, even though Timothy Bradley probably can whip my ass and twice on Sunday. You know, I'm not going to change my tune because another man is favored to whoop my ass. Okay. I'm going to remain the same man. And I think that's what's important in this interaction. Okay. Timothy Bradley says, and he says what he said. And he says, I'm watching. He's hype. He's real hype, you know. And I'm watching, and he disagreed with what I said. And I was paying for my fight ticket. So I'm digging in my wallet and I accidentally dropped my money. And I was like, damn, in my head, I said, I don't want him to give off the presence that I'm nervous, but I was trying to multitask and pay for my ticket off one shoulder, and Timothy Bradley's literally on my right shoulder. I'm facing the exit of the MGM, and Timothy Bradley's coming in the MGM. So Timothy Bradley's walking on this shoulder, and I'm paying for the ticket because I'm turned this way, and I turned to the right to talk to Timothy Bradley. If you've been to MGM, you know exactly what I'm saying. And so I'm facing the food court now. Like half my body is facing the food court, half my body is facing to pay for the ticket, and Timothy Bradley. And Timothy Bradley basically said, "I'm watching, I'm paying," and he disagrees with me. And I go like six, not in a threatening position, but I walk up to Timothy Bradley as I'm picking up my money to pay for my ticket, and I to the Deontay. So I paid for my Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder ticket. I want that to be known, okay? And I walk up to Timothy Bradley, and I says, Timothy Bradley, you have a big platform, and I think it's very, very important that you use your platform to celebrate us. I think it's very, very important when it's time to be black. I would hope that you be black. And that's exactly what I told him. And he understood. He said something back to me. But mind you, I'm still having this conversation with the ticket. I'm still having the conversation with the ticket. And it was like a 45 seconds to a minute, 15-second interchange. But that's what I told him. And then he came off as in disagreeing with me, and he has every right to disagree with me. Okay. And that was it. And I didn't see him no more throughout the week. And I'll just say this, man. At the end of the day, I'm honestly happy. I'm honestly happy. You understand? Because let's call a spade a spade. He's on ESPN right now, and currently, ESPN is a bigger platform than Barbershop Conversations. So on a consistent basis, I believe I hit more fans. But if you're talking about one night and one night only, Timothy Bradley wins, right? And I think that is very, very important that Timothy Bradley uses his platform to tell the truth, to tell the stories of being a black man in America, okay? To tell the stories about how Asians don't like him, to tell the story about what's it like to raise mixed kids in America, and having to understand. I believe his wife is, I'm just going to say, of Latino descent. I don't know if she's Mexican, Honduran, or anything like that, but I've met her a couple of times. I believe her name is Monica, if I'm not mistaken. And to tell the story of what it's like to raise mixed kids in America. I think that story takes precedence more so than saying, oh man, disagreeing with every black man that comes up crosses Diaz. Like, I didn't see Deontay Wilder fight, but he didn't look good. Everybody in PBC, put your big boy pants on. You know what I mean? Like like my shirt says, there comes a time when silence is a betrayal. There comes a time when silence is betrayal. MLK. And I wear, and I'm wearing this shirt on purpose, because Andre Ward and Timothy Bradley have been silent for a long time. And I make no secrets about who I am and what I stand for. All right. I'm very, period. I don't care. I'm not in this for the money. I'm in this for liberation. You know what I mean? Money is a secondary asset that I wish to acquire while doing this. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't want to be financially compensated. I think that now they're not silent anymore. In 6 months, when Shakur Stevenson can't get a championship fight, and Bachelt then fought Oscar Valdez, I'm gonna need Andre Ward or Timothy Bradley to say, how come Shakur Stevenson didn't get Oscar Valdez at 126 or 130? I need Andre Ward or Timothy Bradley to say, why is Burchelt and Oscar Valdez and Carl Frampton fighting in this triangle, and Shakur Stevenson can't get in? Okay, I need y'all to say, why is Terrence Crawford being shelved? How come Terrence Crawford, how come they won't put any money behind, quote unquote, the pound for pound best fighter in the world? Obviously, y'all talked about breaking the mold, Andre Ward, Timothy Bradley, and Mark Kriegel. Mark Kriegel said some sly shit in the 4th or 5th round yesterday that I'm going to address at some point. He said some sly shit, and he corrected it in his second thought. But I'm gonna get on that shit, man, because I thought that was very disrespectful. Um, 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 but when Andre, why won't they give Terrence Crawford any money for an opponent consistently? You understand? So at the end of the day, Timothy Bradley, I'm very happy. I'm going to say this about Andre Ward and Timothy, but I need you to be black tomorrow. I need you to be black in July. Shakur Stevenson needs you to be black in August. Terrence Crawford needs you to be black in September. And this goes the more to tell you, I don't give a fuck if it's my platform. Give your information to Champside. Give your interviews to Blue Blood. ESPN is going to fire you one day, Timothy Bradley. ESPN is going to fire you one day, Andre Ward. And I don't say that out of hate. I'm just saying the only thing that's going to happen when you get hired is you're going to get fired. They're going to push you to retirement or physically fire you. That's the truth. I was fired and I was teacher of the year. So I know what it means to be fired. I know the significance of it. You know what I mean? And if you have the heart of the people, you won't lose, man. Deontay Wilder is a great example of that. You know what I mean? Earl Spencer's trailing behind him, and Terrence Crawford. I pray that Terrence Crawford comes around. It don't have to be me. I'm not an easy person to like. Okay, I'm not an easy person to get along with if you don't like sitting in gray area. I don't sit in gray area in my life. You know, so I understand how people can be taken back or not want to interview with me. I'm not offended if you say, nah, I don't want to interview with that little ugly motherfucker. I'm cool with it. All right. I'm cool with it. All right. So I just want this to be known. Timothy Bradley, thank you. And I'm going to leave it at that. Now, I'm not saying that I 100% trust him. Floyd Mayweather, Timothy Bradley, Andre Ward, I don't trust them. However, I do want them to use their platform because there are some other brothers that trust them. There's some people who don't trust me, and I'm comfortable with that. Okay. But the end goal of all this is we got to reconstruct America. Okay. And I need Andre Ward to be as loud as he can be. I need Timothy Bradley to be as loud as he can be. Okay. Because when June of 2021 comes and we're still singing the same old "We Shall Overcome" song, one day we lost. Okay. And I'm speaking of three men, myself, Timothy Bradley, Andre Ward, who are handsomely financially compensated. So we can pretend that the real world doesn't exist until we get pulled over. And obviously Timothy Bradley proved it because they pulled him over and then they realized who he was. But let me tell you something, Timothy Bradley. They don't know who your son is. Andre Ward, they don't know who your son is. Frederick Hawthorne talking to me. They don't know who Kennedy and Lincoln is. All right. And I know that. That's why I'm fighting for equality. Excuse me. That's why I'm fighting for equity. Fuck equality. All right. We keep on trying to be equal to white men, will never come. They'll always raise the bar. Okay. All right. So so we gonna win. And I appreciate these men coming out and using their platform, but I hope they do it in June of 2021 now. I just hope and pray that they don't revert back. So I'm not sitting here round of applause. I'm going to sit back and pay attention even more intently. Because if you revert backwards, Timothy Bradley and Andre Ward, you're the epitome of a sellout. You're allowed to be black when the white man tells you to be black. That's even more disgusting. And I'm being real. That's even more disgusting. ESPN say, hey, it's cool to be black. Hey, Timothy Bradley, Andre Ward, say how you really feel. It's just what I feel. I don't do this for play, y'all. I don't play with this. I can't turn off my blackness. I can't be this educated black man when the cops pull me over. I'm a nigga when they pull me over. All right. I can't be this Emmy nominated film producer when the cops pull me over. I'm a nigga when they pull me over. All right. I can't be a 3-time author when the police pull me over. I'm a nigga when they pull me over. Timothy Bradley, you can't be a 5-time world champion when they pull you over. You a nigga. Andre Ward, you can't be a 2-division world champion when they pull you over. You a nigga. And if you're a nigga, if Andre's a nigga, Tim's a nigga, I'm a nigga, and we cracked the Da Vinci Code and stole some wealth out this motherfucker, what they gonna think of our kids? What they gonna think of our grandkids that's not famous? Excuse me, I'm talking to y'all. My kids aren't famous. Excuse me, Timothy Bradley and Andre Ward are famous. What they gonna do? They gonna beat them to death? They gonna shoot them? They gonna put the dogs on them? And that's what we're fighting for today. That's why I'm frontlining every day. I went and protested yesterday. I went and protested twice Saturday. Went and protested Friday or whatever that is. 2 or 3 times a week, I'm frontlining every day. And this ain't no brag or boast, but that's just the truth of the matter. We got to stand tall and firm and believe and lock arms. Okay, I don't give a fuck if you're $20 million. I don't care if you're Floyd worth $1 billion. I don't give a fuck if the barber, you know what I mean, I don't give a fuck what you do and what you are. I don't care about your sexual, religious orientation right now. I need us to lock arms and go. I don't care. I personally don't care how many world championships you had. Don't care. I need us to lock arms and walk this fight together. All right. And some of us have different jobs. All right. It's very important that you consistently use your platform. You know what I mean? Teofimo Lopez's dad deserved more than 30 seconds, Andre Ward. I'm just keeping it a buck. There have been some rumors of this stuff going on in the past. No, nigga, say it. Say how you really feel. Poke your chest out, nigga. And that's just what I believe, man. I'm always gonna stand on my square about my blackness, man. Because I know that there are generations after me. And I'm doing this for Andre Ward's kids too. I'm doing this for Timothy Bradley kids too. I may never meet them, but this butterfly effect, this energy that we're fucking building, it can only be transferred. Okay? I've never met Timothy Bradley kids, but I love them. If anything bad happened to Timothy Bradley kids, I'll cry. If anything happened to Andre Ward's kids, I'll cry. That shit would hurt my heart. I don't even know Breonna Taylor. I cried. I don't know Ahmaud Arbery. I cried doing the radio show. I don't know George Floyd. I cried doing the show. I got to hold back tears for 2 hours when we talk about it on the show. This ain't no game with me. I don't turn off my blackness. All right. And if you don't agree with how I do it, find another black man you agree with, but don't tear down the man that you disagree with. That's why I'm not going to tear down, but I want them to be more consistent. All right. I need Andre Ward and Timothy Bradley to be more consistent. That's all I'm saying. That's all I ask. Be your authentic self. You can put on the suit, but don't be that suit man. All right. Be what you were born. It's great if Andre Ward can speak from both sides. It's great if he can say he understands what having white privilege is when he hangs out on his father's side and understanding going into the depths of Oakland on his mama's side. I don't know the dynamics of it, but I'm just giving you the example. If he could speak to that, there's an audience that he can speak to. Lincoln is a mixed child. Maybe Lincoln can relate to Andre Ward's story, growing up mixed. You know what I mean? It's just the truth. Or Kennedy, my daughter. Be your authentic self, man. You don't have to be this motherfucking computerized robot and calculated and no, man, be real. Be authentic. You know what I mean? The same way you play ping pong with Terrence Crawford, Andre Ward is the same way you should be on that microphone. All right. The same way you brag about having a new Jordan before they come out with your niggas in Oakland is the same way you should be on the microphone. Timothy Bradley, the same way, man. You know what I mean? I can love y'all from afar. And I'm gonna root for y'all. I'm gonna root. And that's just what I believe. And Um, I'm excited about where we're at overall as it relates to our fight. And I'm also cognizant that talking black, being black, supporting black is a fad right now. It's super cool. It's super cool. Fred, we finally understand. Oh man, we understand what you've been going through. I understand that um you've had a tough time being black. How can I make this white world more accessible to you? I don't want no handouts, man. I don't want no handouts. I've earned it already. You know what I mean? So, anyways, man, Timothy Bradley, come on the podcast, man. Come into the barbershop, man. And you're gonna feel how hundreds of black men feel. It's just the truth. Come on in. I think Timothy Bradley. I don't think Andre Ward to come on. I don't think Andre. No disrespect, but I think Andre is I'm not gonna say it, but it's too rigid. I mean, it's not as rigid. I think Andre Ward is better in a controlled environment. I think Timothy Bradley can handle this more. You know what I mean? But I want Andre Ward to come in because he needs to understand what that statement meant when niggas was riding for Andre. Man, niggas was riding for Andre Ward, man. Barbershop conversation, man. I love all y'all, man. Let's go get it, man. Andre Ward, do it for your legacy, man. Do it for your last name. Do it for your beautiful wife, man. You got beautiful kids, man. I've seen them in videos. I've never met them. Beautiful family. Beautiful family. Timothy Bradley, beautiful family. You made it, dog. You made it. Beautiful family. Headstrong wife. Believes in you, loves the shit out of you, Timothy Bradley. Seen it with my own eyes, man. Let's do this shit together, man. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Oh, I just hit it. We're all we're all mixed in terms of our kids, our lineage. You know what I'm saying? So let's do this, man. Let's be honest. All right. It's who we are. All right. So my final statement. Andre Ward, when you're making a difference, you're making a difference for Timothy Bradley and Frederick Hawthorne's children. Timothy Brad, when you're making a difference, you're making a difference. You're making it easier for my kids as well. Okay. And every other mixed kid in America or across the world. It's important. All right. Barbershop conversations, man. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.